Oh my god, what the fuck is this? Oh my god! What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, I did not plan for this video, but it's something I want to talk about all the same because it's really frustrating whenever I have to see it. So somebody in my Discord brought this tweet to my attention where apparently some Bleach fan or somebody claimed that Yhwach, or Yhwach, my bad, from Bleach could take Goku in a fight. And of course, because we know that Goku cocksuckers are very sensitive and insecure, any way to be able to suggest that Goku would lose to any character is seen as sacrilegious. And this person retweets it saying, oh, this is why the Bleach power scaling community is in shambles. Every time I see Bleach try to pop up in the power scaling community, they always get bullied, they always get accused of glaze, and it's ridiculous. Not to mention, the Bleach universe is one of the most heavily lowballed universes of all time. It never gets any respect, and I'm tired of it. And the main thing I want to focus on here is not so much the idea of whether or not Yhwach could beat Goku or not. That's not really the point here, although I will address it a little bit, because if any character from Bleach could take a Dragon Ball Z character in a fight, Yhwach would definitely be one of them, because he's one of the most absurdly broken characters from the entire universe. But I'm going to focus on this. I always see this as a Bleach fan. People will always be so quick to suggest that Bleach fans are glazers. And sure, some of them are. But that doesn't mean that all of them are like this. For example, I acknowledge that there are a lot of glazers and wankers in the Naruto community. I've been calling them out for years. But I do not believe that all Naruto fans are these wanking glazers. I've had plenty of debates with some that are more realistic about the actual scaling of Naruto, and there are some that aren't. The same can be said about Dragon Ball Z. I saw that in this tweet thread, there was somebody that seemed to suggest that Dragon Ball Z has outerversal scaling, which is bullshit, of course, because Dragon Ball Z has very low-level multiversal scaling at best. But again, whenever people want to wank Dragon Ball Z, oh, that's fine. That's okay. But the moment that a Bleach character tries to suggest that, hey, there's this Bleach character over here that is universal, and then they tell you why, and then you're like, oh, stop wanking, you stupid Bleach fan. And then the Bleach fan gets bullied by a combination of the DBZ fan base, the Naruto fan base, or sometimes both at once. Even though Bleach fans aren't going around claiming that Bleach characters can take Marvel heralds or anything like that. You know who I do see pulling that crap though? Dragon Ball Z fans. I will see Dragon Ball Z fans saying that, oh, Goku could kill Superman. Goku could take down a Marvel herald. No, he couldn't. If you put Goku in the Marvel or the DC universe, he would become somebody's bitch real fucking quickly. But here's something I want to address. Not only has the Bleach universe gotten stronger since the return of the anime, but we have been given new information that we did not have access to beforehand when the anime was on hiatus. And one thing that has been established is this, and this is the method for which Bleach fans prove universal scaling. The Soul King created the entire Bleach cosmology, and we know that the Bleach cosmology is somewhat similar to our own because Earth and our solar system exists. So it's highly likely that Bleach is somewhat similar to our own cosmology, as well as having its larger, greater cosmology in terms of Hueco Mundo, the Soul Society, etc. As well as the Soul King's Palace, which is literally described as its own alternate dimension, by the way. So the Soul King creates the cosmology as well as all the alternative realms in Bleach. And furthermore, without the Soul King, all the realms and the entire universe dies. Which is why the Soul Society had to try to stop Aizen from killing the Soul King, because if you kill the Soul King, everything dies. Unless somebody's able to become the new Soul King. Which leads me into this point. The Zero Squad keeps tabs on what is known as Soul King potentials. And some of these Soul King potentials include Yhwach, who is the son of the Soul King, Ichigo, Aizen, and I believe his name was Ginjo, who was one of the Fullbringers. Which means these are characters that are not only able to kill the Soul King, but they can become a new Soul King. Which means that these are characters that possess similar levels of power that the Soul King is capable of. They are on a completely different transcendent level compared to all the other characters. In fact, this makes even more sense when you consider that Ichigo and Aizen are hybrid beings. And the whole thing of Aizen is that he was trying to transcend and become the Soul King. That was his whole goal. So, on the very lowest end, even if you wanted to lowball the Soul King heavily, the Soul King would be a universal, the universal plus threat on the lowest scale possible. But the Soul King is likely much more powerful than this, because the Soul King not only created an entire universe, but he created all these realms and alternative dimensions and higher planes of existence as well. And there were things that got brought into existence, like the Cleaner, which is a being that transcends both time and space, which Aizen destroyed, by the way. And when Aizen did so, his power was described as power without reason, because the Cleaner is described as a being of reason itself, if that makes any sense. What I'm trying to get across here is the idea that Yhwach could take Goku in a fight is not that unreasonable when you consider that all Goku has is stats. That's all he has. He's just got a lot of physical power and he's a very good martial artist. That's it. He doesn't have any of these crazy reality-bending hack powers that characters like Yhwach have. The most you can give him is, yeah, he has the Zenkai boost, which gives him near limitless potential as to how powerful he can become the more you beat the crap out of him, but that requires him to lose a fight and then heal afterwards for that to even work. And yeah, you have things like the Spirit Bomb, which can become as powerful as Goku needs it to be, but it also requires a long time to be able to accomplish this. For the most part, Goku is not a very haxed character to any degree. He's just a very physically strong character, but he is not broken. And in regards to some of the crazy shit Yhwach can do, Yhwach has the power of the Almighty. And here's what frustrates me about this. As I go over what the Almighty can do, I want you to keep in mind that if Naruto or Goku has this power, you know that if they had this power, that these DBZ and Naruto fans would be glazing the fuck out of it. But because a Bleach character has it, they have to pretend that it's not impressive power. So how the Almighty works is, contrary to popular belief, it's not just the ability to see into the future. The Almighty allows Yhwach to not only see all futures, but exist within all futures at the same time, including futures in which he has been killed. He can even rewrite these futures to be able to affect things, such as being able to just teleport by manipulating the future, or just outright destroying your power by destroying it or killing you in the past. He can even stop himself from dying by simply going into a future in which he died and rewrite it. This is a very low-level form of what is known as plot manipulation, where he can just rewrite reality and rewrite timelines as he sees fit. But, oh no, Yhwach couldn't possibly take on Goku, no, because you see, Goku can punch things really fucking hard. Now, Yhwach over here, he can literally get half of his power taken away from him and just give it back to himself. Such as when Ichibei used his power to literally strip half of Yhwach's power away, and then Yhwach just gave it back to himself. Or when Yhwach got cursed by Ichibei, where he has this ability where if you say his name, you lose your ability to speak. Well, Yhwach said Ichibei's name, lost his ability to speak, and just gave himself the ability to speak back like that. But even more impressive, through the power of the Almighty, Ichibei has an ability where he can change your name and give you a new name and give you all the powers of that thing. When Ichibei changed Yhwach's name to Black Ant and gave him all the powers of an ant, he was able to not only use the power of the Almighty to just reverse the effects of it, but it's explained that because of the Almighty, any ability that he knows and sees goes over to his side, effectively making it ineffective against him altogether. So suppose, hypothetically, Goku tried to use the Spirit Bomb against Yhwach and he succeeded. Well, once Yhwach sees the ability and becomes aware of it, the ability would just move over to Yhwach's side and not work on him or pose any threat to him whatsoever. And also, Yhwach is not a character that can be killed through physical force alone. They tried this and it didn't work. Not to mention, Yhwach was also able to just casually steal other people's abilities and bestow abilities upon characters, such as when he took Yamamoto's Bankai away from him and explained that he could absolutely control the power of his Bankai. And for those of you who don't know, Yamamoto's Bankai allows him to become as hot as the sun, burn anything out of existence, and his Bankai is so powerful that using it for too long can threaten to destroy the entire realm of Soul Society itself. Yhwach just took that away from him and said that, yeah, I can control this, no problem. And this was before he even got the powers of the Almighty back. So ask yourself this, a character like Goku, what the hell is he supposed to do against somebody that exists within all timelines and sees the concept of time and alternate timelines as if it's nothing more than a bunch of grains of sand that he can control and manipulate at will? Even if there were timelines in which Goku killed Yhwach, it wouldn't matter because he would just rewrite those timelines and undo the death. Or just use the power of the Almighty to basically make any power Goku has useless. But okay, even if you want to take the power of the Almighty out of the equation and still say, well, Goku is still stronger, Goku is still faster. Okay, I've pointed this out before in previous videos, but in Bleach, they have faster than light as well as MFTL speeds. Bleach has had faster than light feats as early as the Soul Society arc. In fact, while Bleach hasn't always been known as a powerhouse type universe, it has always been an incredibly fast universe. Even weak lieutenant class characters can move faster than the speed of light. Even characters like Nanaho, a character that throughout most of the series didn't even have a frickin' Zanpakuto, was able to dodge attacks from the literal god of light within the Bleach universe. And you're gonna try to pretend that, oh, well, Goku is just so much faster than Yhwach. No. Goku likely has speeds equivalent to what is within the Bleach universe. Bleach universe has characters that are hundreds, thousands of times the speed of light, easily. Because when you're talking about the Soul Reapers or the Espada, these are all characters that have casually displayed FTL feats, even the weakest among them. Even the weakest among the Espada and the weakest among 13 captains, even the lieutenants are capable of FTL speeds. And when you're talking about characters like Ichigo, Yhwach, Aizen, these are characters that are on a completely different level. So don't pretend that Goku would win just by being faster and stronger. And even then, even if you could prove that Goku is faster, it wouldn't matter because Yhwach can just teleport and move throughout time as he sees fit. So that really wouldn't matter. And Goku's instant transmission would only do so much because from what I understand, Goku almost never uses instant transmission in combat. But as I said, this is not about whether or not Goku could beat Yhwach in a fight. What this is about, and what I'm trying to get at here, is that Bleach gets lowballed and disrespected. Not just by the Dragon Ball fans, not just by the Naruto fans, but even by other shows like Death Battle. Death Battle has always lowballed Bleach and never given Bleach any degree of respect. Because Death Battle tried to claim that Yhwach wasn't even planet level, and tried to lowball his power by saying, well, he was only going to destroy the 3 realms by upsetting the balance of souls. That's bullshit, because we now know that one of the captains of the Zero Division simply releasing their Bankai causes the 3 realms to shake. Hueco Mundo, Soul Society, the world of the living. Her simply unleashing her Bankai made the 3 realms shake. But it goes even deeper than that, because it's later explained that in order for one member of the Zero Squad to be able to use their Bankai, the other 2 have to essentially kill themselves. Because if all the members of the Zero Squad tried to use their Bankai, it would destroy the entire Bleach cosmology. Even one member using their Bankai is enough to threaten the integrity of the 3 realms. And that's just a Zero Squad member being able to do that by unleashing their Bankai, because that's how powerful their Bankai is. And Yhwach, as well as the Soul King, Ichigo, and Aizen, they're all in a different league compared to the Zero Squad, because Yhwach was able to just one-shot the most powerful member of the Zero Squad with ease. In fact, another thing about Yhwach that's crazy is the guy can kill you or dismember you just by looking at you. That's how powerful he is. He could just look at Goku and all of a sudden Goku's arm would just rip from his body and he wouldn't even know what the heck was happening to him. So again, what the fuck? This is just bullshit. But again, here's what I'm trying to get at here. Why is it that Naruto and Goku gets all the benefit of the doubt in the world? For example, Goku gets to fight Superman 3 times and fail all 3 times, and still people swear up and down to this day that Goku should have won. Or Naruto gets all the benefit of the doubt in the world, so does Madara, but Bleach never gets the benefit of the doubt, ever. And if you ever try to suggest that Bleach is planetary or above, or FTL, you get called a wanker or a glazer for it, and I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of the double standards. I'm tired of when a Naruto fan is caught glazing, almost nobody says anything about it, but the moment somebody perceives a Bleach fan as glazing, that Bleach fan is going to get shit for it. Here's what it comes down to. A lot of these people don't know shit about the Bleach power scaling at all. I can at least respect Death Battle for one thing. While Death Battle has treated the Bleach fan base like shit, at least Death Battle had the balls to admit that, yeah, we don't know how to power scale Bleach. At least they admit it. But you got these Naruto fans, these Dragon Ball fans, even sometimes the JJK fans, because they are pretty bad glazers too. They will sit here and say that, oh, well, Bleach is not that strong, you're a fucking glazer, get fucked, while claiming that their character could defeat frickin' Superman or Ghost Rider or what have you. And it's ridiculous. I'm just sick and tired of the double standards, because I know that most of these people that lowball Bleach, they either don't know how to power scale Bleach or they did not read the manga or watch the anime. And that is very clear to me. And I want to make this perfectly clear. Yes, I'm a Bleach fan, but even if I wasn't a Bleach fan, I would still call bullshit on this because I don't like double standards. If you are gonna fucking lowball Bleach or wank Dragon Ball Z, lowballing a universe is just as unacceptable as glazing a universe. And I'm tired of these Dragon Ball Z fans that are so insecure that they have to try to tear apart universes that they perceive as weaker to hype up Goku, when Goku is not even all that impressive of a character. Yeah, sure, Goku has impressive stats. Yes, the DBZ universe has a pretty decent cosmology with some decently powerful characters. Sure, nobody is trying to tell you, Dragon Ball Z fans, that Goku is not powerful. But what's so frustrating about it is, like I said, Goku gets allowed and afforded benefit of the doubt, but they won't give that to Bleach characters. Because every time a Bleach fan tries to say that a Bleach character is this level, they say, no, you're glazing, you're wanking. But you guys will think that it's okay to glaze Goku. I know that fanboys are gonna fanboy, and again, not all Dragon Ball Z fans are retarded glazers. But the ones that are, they're the ones I'm directing this towards because I'm tired of it. To sit here and, because I always have to deal with people saying that, oh, Bleach has like the worst fan base of all time, they don't know how to power scale, they're the worst glazers of all time. No. While yes, Bleach has its glazers just like any other universe, in my experience, the worst glazing I've seen, it comes from the Dragon Ball Z fans, it comes from the Naruto fans, it comes from the JJK fans. Gee, projection much? Let's be real here. If you put Goku up against Ben 10, Ben 10 would make Goku his fucking bitch. If you put Naruto up against Ichigo, Ichigo is gonna make Naruto his bitch. If you put Gojo up against Gilgamesh from the Fate franchise, Gilgamesh is gonna make Gojo his fucking bitch. Stop fucking wanking these characters and learn how to power scale. It's not hard. I'm tired of people pretending like power scaling is difficult. It's not hard. And if you don't have the intelligence or comprehension skills to be able to power scale properly, then shut the fuck up, get out of the community, and leave it to people that actually know what they're talking about. Because power scaling based on fanboyism and ignorance is frustrating. And then I gotta deal with people that make all these videos talking about how, oh, power scaling is stupid, power scalers are retarded. It's not that power scaling is bad or that power scalers are retarded. It's what happens when retards try to power scale, or biased fanboys that want to act like their favorite character is the strongest character of all time. I am a Bleach fan, and I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that Bleach is the most overpowered universe of all time, or that Yhwach or Aizen could take on characters from the Fate universe or something like that. I'm not going to try to tell you that because I'm realistic about the power scaling of Bleach. But, again, I will reiterate this. I once had to deal with a Naruto fan in my Discord that tried to debate me and said that, oh, well, you see, Kaguya, she created her own dimension, so therefore she's a Universal Plus. She connected multiple dimensions together, so therefore she's multiversal. But then when I point out that a character from Bleach, the Soul King, is universal, he's like, no, the Soul King is not universal. No, he's not. And I'm like, okay, but this character from Bleach created a dimension as well. So why would that not apply to the Bleach character? It's utter fucking bullshit. Or like, I saw another thing on Twitter where this Naruto fan tried to point out that, oh, Bleach fans will say that the black coffin is a black hole, but not this, and then showed a panel from the Naruto manga where a character used a black hole. Nobody is denying that those are black holes. Yes, in Naruto there are black holes, but not all black holes are made equal. And the black coffin, it's not fair to compare that thing to a black hole, because for one, while yes, the black coffin does create a gravitational torrent that distorts both space and time, the Black Coffin is also magic. So it's not going to operate on the same principles as a actual black hole when it's magical in nature. And I do not believe the Black Coffin at any point is ever stated to be a black hole. It just has similar principles to a black hole, but some people will try to say that it is a black hole. But the point here is, how are you Naruto fans going to sit here and say that, oh, well, this is a black hole, but this isn't? Or you're going to say like, oh, well, the Black Coffin was only the size of a building, so therefore it's only building level, and it doesn't distort space and time in the same way that Kaguya or the fucking Osutsuki god does. What this comes down to, and I will just leave off on this because this went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, what it all comes down to is this. Quit your fucking glazing, quit your fucking lowballing. I don't care what fucking universe it is, I don't care what fucking fan base you're from. If I catch you wanking, if I catch you lowballing, I'm gonna fucking call it out. And stop with the double standards. Enough is enough. And once again, if you can't power scale properly or be nuanced towards other universes, then shut up. You shouldn't be power scaling at all.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Sometimes I feel a voice in my head saying the word